ClubExpress, bank accounts, and financial accounts. ClubExpress requires at least one bank account to be entered into the system. If you collect credit card transactions through the website, we need a bank account in order to be able to send you the funds that we collect. We also need a bank account to collect the fees on those credit card transactions and also for the ClubExpress monthly fee. We're already logged into one of our demo sites as an administrator, so we can go to the Control Panel's Money tab and scroll down to the Setup section. Here we find functions to configure bank accounts and financial accounts, to view ClubExpress rates, and to configure tax rates and money-related options. Many of these choices will only be visited when you first set up your website and database in ClubExpress, or only rarely thereafter. Note that customers outside the United States will not see bank accounts option because the bank interface only works for clubs and associations with a U.S. bank account. International accounts pay their monthly hosting fee by credit card and require their own merchant accounts. Clicking on Bank Accounts displays a screen that shows the bank accounts defined for your club or association. For tax reasons, some clubs and associations deposit membership dues in one account and event registrations, donations, etc. into different accounts. You can also specify accounts belonging to different organizations, such as the state or national parent, and configure ClubExpress so the payments are distributed into multiple accounts. Each club has one designated primary account that's used for all transactions if specific separate accounts have not been defined. The primary account cannot be deleted, but it can be changed at any time. Whenever an account is entered or modified, verification is required using either a voided or canceled check or a bank statement, which you upload. ClubExpress will verify the account and send an email to your treasurer and president once the account has been verified and activated. Also, whenever a bank account is added or modified, the system will send an email to the designated club president and treasurer describing the change. This email protects the club against a malicious action by the administrator or coordinator with access to the bank account's administration screen. The same email is also sent to ClubExpress and retained by us as a record of all bank account changes. There is a checkbox that lets you decide whether to include or exclude closed accounts from displaying in the list. Each account has a status. Active means the account has been verified and is available to use in transactions. New means that this is a new account and is awaiting verification before it can be activated. Changed means it's an existing account that has been edited and is awaiting verification before it can be used. And closed indicates an existing account that is no longer in use. Now let's hide the closed accounts and click the Add Bank Account button to add a new account. This screen gives ClubExpress the information needed to perform these transactions. Then enter the required information. Descriptive name is your internal name for this account. It's used only to distinguish one account from another. If QuickBooks integration is enabled, you will also specify the name of this bank account as used in QuickBooks. Be sure that the spelling is identical to the bank account name on your QuickBooks chart of accounts. Enter the name on the account, the bank name, whether this is to be the primary default account for your club or association. Enter the bank's routing number, account number, whether this is a checking or savings account, and whether this is a business or personal account. If there's any doubt as to whether your organization's bank account is business or personal, specify personal. The best source for the bank routing number and account number is a check. The How Do I Find This link pops up a graphic of a sample check that shows where you would find the bank name, routing number, and account number. If you are aware that your bank uses different routing numbers for electronic transfers, make sure that you send the correct routing number. When adding or editing a bank account, you must include a scan or an image of a voided or canceled check or a bank statement so ClubExpress can verify the account. ClubExpress cannot verify the account without a scan or an image. If you're unable to upload a scan or an image at this time, please email the image to bankinfo@clubexpress.com. If you don't have a printed check or a bank statement for that account, go to your bank's online account management screen and perhaps use a mobile phone to make a photo of the screen, then email that photo to ClubExpress, making sure that you include your club's name so the account can be applied correctly. When the form is saved, the status is then set to new until the account is verified by ClubExpress. When verified, the status is automatically set to active and the account can be used. Let's take a look at the icons in the Maintain column. If you need to review or change the information for an account, click the Edit button to switch to the Edit screen. However, if you change any of the bank's information, you must upload a new scan or image of the check so the account can be re-verified. The status is then set to Changed until the account is verified, at which time the status is set to active and the account can be used. Click the Close icon to close an account. When you click the Reactivate icon for a closed bank account that was previously verified, the account is changed to active and can be used. If your club or association has subgroups with their own bank accounts and you want to distribute funds into these accounts, define these bank accounts using this screen. Then use the Financial Account screen to link a bank account to one or more subgroups. Let's go back to the Control Panel's Money tab and click on Financial Accounts. Financial accounts are a powerful reporting and analysis tool for all financial transactions. They allow you to organize individual line items into specific buckets for aggregation purposes. They also link transaction line items and payments to bank accounts, allowing you to distribute funds into different accounts, including accounts belonging to parent organizations, such as a national organization. And for clubs that enable QuickBook integration, they allow you to link financial transactions to QuickBook accounts. The Search panel allows you to filter the list by account name, which is anywhere in the field, and whether or not to include archived financial accounts. Click the Add Account button to add a new financial account. For each account, enter the account name and a number. Then enter the account type. This is selected from a list of master system accounts into which this account should aggregate. These system accounts cannot be changed. They represent the major modules in ClubExpress, such as membership, events, donations, merchandise, etc. You can also specify to use the bank account designated as primary, or select a different bank account into which the funds assigned to this financial account should be deposited. Note that the bank account option does not appear for clubs and associations outside the U.S. If QuickBooks integration is enabled, QuickBooks account names will be shown in the list of financial accounts. You'll also be asked to specify QuickBooks account name and also the class name if QuickBooks classes are enabled. The spelling of each name must be identical to its spelling in QuickBooks, excluding account numbers. Note that the ClubExpress account name field is limited to 50 characters. If your QuickBooks account names are longer than this, including sub-accounts, they may need to be shortened to fit. You must specify a QuickBooks account name for every financial account, even for the ones you're not using. Otherwise, the export process won't work properly. See Appendix B of your Administrator Guide for more information on integrating ClubExpress and QuickBooks, including how to specify sub-accounts. Click the standard Edit icon to edit information on an existing financial account. When a financial account is no longer needed, check the Archive Account option. It will no longer be shown in the grid unless the Include Archived Accounts box is checked in the search area, and it will not appear in drop-down lists to select a financial account. Click Save to save your changes and close the dialog, or Cancel to close without saving. The Delete icon is only available if the financial account is not in use. In this demo club, all of the financial accounts have delete icons because this club does not have any real bank accounts nor any transactions posted against these financial accounts. Also, note that any financial accounts that display a blank bank account will use the primary account. For a multi-tiered organization, you should define a financial account for each chapter, district, and region. This allows you to flow membership dues, event registrations, and donations into separate bank accounts for each subgroup. But even if you don't have separate bank accounts, having separate financial accounts is useful for reporting purposes to see how much revenue is generated for each subgroup. If QuickBooks integration is enabled, the main screen will have a second grid below it called Master Accounts, where you can specify your QuickBooks account names and class names for the system master accounts. When you click the Edit icon for an account, you can enter or edit the QuickBooks account names that map to this financial account. Then click Save, or click Cancel to close the dialog without saving. Again, you must specify a QuickBooks account name for every ClubExpress financial account, even the ones you're not using. Otherwise, the export process will not work. Let's consider how financial accounts are used. You can think of financial accounts as the glue that links different kinds of charges to one or more bank accounts. But they can also be used for reporting and analysis purposes, even if every financial account links to the same bank account. For example, when you define member types, one of the options is the financial account into which basic membership dues should flow. Use this option to track total dues for each member type. When you define subgroups, one of the options is the financial account into which the subgroup portion of the membership dues should flow. This option is used if your club or association charges dues at the chapter, district, and/or region level. When you define an event, you can specify a financial account for that event into which registration fees will flow. When you define a donation fund, you can specify a financial account. When you define a product in the storefront module, you can specify the financial account to track the sales of the product. And when you create miscellaneous charge or credit, you can specify the financial account into which that charge or credit will be aggregated. Now let's look at the transactions that go through bank accounts. We return to the Control Panel's Money tab and click on Bank Account Activity. If there's more than one bank account, you'll see this first option where you can select any account or include them all. If there's only one account, this option is not displayed. You can then filter by time period. You can filter by transaction type, and you can also sort in different ways. Here we see a number of different transactions. Keep in mind that we're currently looking at the Northwest Balloon Club, which is a demo club that has a lot of old test data and no real bank accounts. So you can see a couple of transaction types, including the original verification test credits and debits, the setup fee, some collected fees, and remitted funds. Typical transaction types include a test credit, a test debit, the original setup fee, collect fees, which includes debit adjustments, credit card fees, logistics services, custom programming, and the monthly membership fee. And there are remit collected funds, including credit adjustments. Some of these items are self-evident and no further information is necessary. Other items have additional information, which is accessed by clicking the Details icon. One or more reports will be available to view the detailed line items that comprise this transaction. If your club or association has subgroups, subgroup administrators will only see bank accounts belonging to the subgroups they manage. To see what an actual account looks like, let's switch over to a real club, and we'll hide the club name and details. For this club, we have filtered by a recent date range and are showing all types of transactions. This club has dozens of bank accounts and financial accounts that it uses for its many regions, districts, and chapters. Let's look at the details for the Remit Collected Funds transaction by clicking on the icon in the Maintain column, selecting the Bank Deposit Details report, and report output. The top section shows money flagged for the region's event registration financial account, and the bottom shows that a new member was added to the region and its funds deposited in that region's membership dues financial account. There are similar reports for collect fees transactions, with the most typical being for the monthly ClubExpress membership fee or for credit card processing fees. Some other transaction types, for example, debit and credit adjustments, also have detailed reports available. Now back at the Control Panel's Money tab, let's look at some of the reports. There are transaction payment reports where you can select one or all financial accounts and a date range. The member user transaction reports show transactions, including membership, event registrations, donations, storefront purchases, miscellaneous charges, etc., where you select a transaction type, status, and date range. The ClubExpress transaction reports show club-level fees and charges, and there are reports showing payments by credit card, check, cash, etc., and reports for credits. So now you've seen how to administer bank accounts and financial accounts, where they're used, how to track bank account activity, and how to get detailed reports. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.